So let's dive into the topic of 7 Stoic ways to navigate life's challenges. Are you ready to learn some valuable insights and practical strategies to tackle the ups and downs of life like a Stoic? Let's get started. The Stoics teach us that people who thrive in the face of hardship don't do so through happy thoughts. Instead, they shift their perspective to see things more objectively, focus on what they can control to make the bad situation better, cultivating gratitude, reflecting on their actions, and striving to be virtuous. These practices can help to maintain inner peace and resilience in the face of adversity. According to Epictetus, if you want something good, get it from yourself. In Stoicism, no event is inherently good or bad. Your perspective determines whether it's good or bad. When problems arise, you can choose to see them as opportunities. By doing so, you remove its ability to hurt you. This doesn't mean that positive thinking will keep anything bad from ever happening to you. According to Epictetus, it isn't the things themselves that disturb people, but the judgments that they form about them. This exercise consists in purposefully experiencing physical hardships and also going without things one enjoys. In some ways, one could think of this as a practical version of negative visualization. One of the great Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, advised us to start each day by contemplating the preciousness of life. He wrote at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain if I am not going to do what I was born free for things I was brought in the world to do, or is this what I was created for, to huddle under the blankets and stay warm? When we look at the human condition, we notice that most of us are entirely controlled by a world outside of us. When we get what we want from it, we are happy, but when it's taken away from us, we are sad. The praise people give us uplifts us, but their dislike makes us miserable. The more we want something, the more we are willing to sacrifice to get it. And the more we oppose something, the higher the price we are ready to pay to avoid it. 7 Stoic principles to navigate life's challenges. 1. Focus on what you can control. You have control over your own thoughts and actions, but not over the thoughts and actions of others. The Stoics believed that things which were somewhat dependent upon our control, the ones we have some influence over, were categorized as not within our control. The reason being that we simply do not have full control over fate. We only have control over ourselves within a given situation. When you can control your thoughts, you can control your destiny. 2. Practice acceptance. First, accept the reality that you cannot change things that are outside your control. By focusing on what you can control, you can then do your best to transfigure negative events into something positive with an enthusiastic spirit of gratitude. If something undesirable happens in our life, acceptance is required to see it clearly for what it is and accept it as a reality. After we accept, we can then move forward and act. What is this? If something happens in our life and we are unable to accept it, we become emotionally bound to it. 3. Develop resilience. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. The only things we really control are our thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, and actions. Everything else is outside the reach of our control. No one escapes pain, fear, and suffering. Yet from pain can come wisdom. From fear can come courage. From suffering can come strength, if we have the virtue of resilience. Stoic message of resilience can be summed up simply by saying that we should enjoy what we have while it is ours, but understand that these things never belong to us. Realize that we have no control over how long these things will last. Successful people demonstrate their resilience through their dedication to making progress every day, even if that progress is marginal. 4. Cultivate inner peace. Epictetus, one of the most prominent Stoic philosophers, said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By doing so, we can learn to overcome adversity and find inner peace. The goal of Stoicism is to attain inner peace by overcoming adversity, practicing self-control, being conscious of our impulses, realizing our ephemeral nature, and the short time allotted. These were all meditative practices that help them live with their nature and not against it. When individuals cultivate inner peace, They experience a sense of balance amidst chaos, clarity amidst confusion, and joy amidst adversity. 5. Practice self-reflection. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to. One that desires to excel should endeavor in those things that are in themselves most excellent. There is only one corner of the universe you can be certain of improving, and that's your own self. The Stoic practice of daily reflection requires a midday check-in. Often our day contains distractions and conflicting priorities. It's important to pause during the day and ask yourself how well you're upholding your values. This gives you opportunity to course correct if things aren't going well. 6. Choose virtue over pleasure. Pleasure has no moral dimension. It is impermanent and won't give you fulfillment you are looking for. Pleasure is feeling good, virtue is doing good. Virtue domesticates the self. Virtue leads to lasting fulfillment and sense of purpose. While pleasure may bring temporary satisfaction, it can be fleeting and often distracts us from what truly matters. Virtue, on the other hand, allows us to live in alignment with our values, cultivate inner strength, and make choices that benefit ourselves and others in the long run. By prioritizing virtue, we can find a deeper sense of meaning and live a more fulfilling life. 7. Live in the present. It is a state that allows the individual to live in present moment, free from anxiety, regrets, and worries about future. The ideal of living from your own center and being present at this very moment, without desiring future states or external things, is one of the keys to achieving Stoic happiness or joy. When we are fully present and living from our inner selves, we experience a sense of radiance, joy, and completeness. The future can only be influenced by the actions we take here or now. That's why the Stoic says we must be mindful in the present moment and focus on what's real and graspable. Don't dwell too much on the past. Don't worry unduly about the future. Concentrate instead on what is currently real. I'm sure you will enjoy it. Like the video and subscribe the channel for more videos full of wisdom.